March to May 2012. Tornadoes struck Midwest U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers from Chicago chapters teamed up immediately to assess the disaster areas. August 2012. Hurricane Isaac made landfall in eastern Louisiana, causing hundreds of homes to be flooded, forcing 3,000 people to live in shelters. The damage cost over $2 billion. On October 29, 2012, Hurricane Sandy made landfall in New Jersey and devastated eastern U.S. More than 300,000 houses were severely damaged in New York and New Jersey. 121 people died, and the damages were estimated at $72 billion. The level of damage almost paralleled Hurricane Katrina in 2005.
Again, everybody tends to forget about Long Island is New York. I asked somebody when I was on the road one time about Long Island, and they thought it was another country. I'm like, no, it's Long Island, New York.
At every scene of disaster, we saw volunteers bustling around.
Around the world, still many people can help other people in need. So this is the most important for us, that we're not alone.
苦难的人真的需要我们伸出援手。当我们伸出援手之后，我们真的感受到自己其实是最有福的。
You people have been working hard to raise money for us, people in trouble, right? It's amazing. Makes me cry.
God bless America.
We can't thank you people enough. God bless all of you. A long life and a happy. We have each other and we're alive. That's the most important thing. And to have people like you to help, God bless you.
Through the night with the light.
As a volunteer myself, I understand what it takes to do this. And I know that you give of your time and your dollars to this organization. But what a wonderful organization. We are so grateful that you have come to Moscow.
My home was destroyed in Katrina, and now this is my second time with my home being destroyed. And I'm really standing in need of a lot of prayers, and I'm liking to thank this group that gave us this donation, and just to tell them that I love them so much and I appreciate everything that they did.
Staten Island! Staten Island! God bless everybody!
After the disaster, Master Chang Yen started fundraisers around the world and distributed nearly $10 million to affected residents, with donations from more than 37 countries worldwide. Helping to spread the kind thought of helping others, Tzu Chi USA Education Foundation hosted many charity auctions in preschools and elementary schools. Through fundraising and classes, Tzu Chi Education Foundation tried to implement the concept of compassion to those students.
他们没有地方可以住，帮他们找一个家。
Teaching them compassion and kindness towards other people, and so that's why we incorporate, prayer, sending well wishes, sending good thoughts to other people, or like when you know somebody's sick, you want to send well wishes and dedicate those well wishes to them.
Imagine if this was your favorite park. How would you feel? Sad. You see the true effect of education when a student can actually take that lesson home and continue to give, even when the teacher doesn't know about it. The student is still continuing to put money into his bamboo bank. And so this is the best kind of results we would like to see for a character education teacher.
The children knew to help, and the adults sold their work in community art classes during the end-of-year artwork exhibition for charity, donating all proceeds to Hurricane Sandy victims. The 2012 USA National Education Conference was hosted in New Jersey. The goal was to bring Tzu Chi's philosophy in education to teachers from all over the U.S. so they can bring it back to their Tzu Chi academies and pass the torch.
我花了1个月 collect 21箱，我是跟 library 去collect 这些书，很好的 effort，like to show that we care.
很多人都没有机会看到这些书，愿出去南非就可以分享我们童年时的回忆和快乐。
Tzu Chi's spirit in education was portrayed through the South African book drive. 23 Tzu Chi academies around the country have continued the drive for 8 years with the collaboration between the teachers, parents, and students. Bringing Tzu Chi's love and humanistic culture to schools, the Happy Campus program was rolled out across the country. Students from less privileged families received food, backpacks, and tutoring. Tzu Chi spirit was also practiced at the Dallas Obama High School. The seeds of kindness have started to sprout in the younger generation. Tzu Chi and Washington have planned annual winter distributions, delivering breakfast and blankets to the homeless on the streets. Every winter, Tzu Chi Medical Foundation collaborates with church shelters to provide free dental clinics using Da'ai dental vans. In 2012, they served 216 homeless via these small-scale clinics. In September of 2012, the Flying Doctors invited Tima to join a larger health clinic in the Mojave Desert in California. This is one of the poorest neighborhoods in the United States. Most of the residents are undocumented Mexican immigrants who cannot afford health insurance and impoverished farm workers who move around following harvest seasons.
Half of the farm workers here have never seen a dentist in their life, and this is their only opportunity to be able to be taken care of.
2 huge trucks brought 43 dental chairs and all of the medical equipment necessary for the health clinic.
They had limited resource with the equipment, but we have all the equipment. So with these two combinations, we can do a big event like that.
Big difference between Tzu Chi and a lot of the other nonprofit groups is that with Tzu Chi, we do the follow-up. We actually are committed to helping the community long-term. With some of the groups, they'll come in and do a large event and they leave.
Tzu Chi worked closely with the local medical organization and brought love that nurtured and refreshed this dry desert. In 2012, they started collaborating with Molina Medical, and with the help of more than 10 community groups, hosted a large-scale clinic in the San Bernardino neighborhood.
Molina Healthcare partnered with the Tzu Chi Foundation, and we saw that we carry very similar missions, that we really care about the community, are concerned around what are the needs, what are the barriers for individuals to access healthcare. It's been a dream of some of the leadership from the Tzu Chi Foundation to really bring healthcare on a large scale. So we decided, let's do it, and here we are today.
The recipients of this clinic are the low-income families who cannot afford healthcare and the homeless. For 3 continuous days, they served 2,400 patients. Entering the community, Tzu Chi volunteers are sending drops of love into everyone's hearts. On December 11th, 2012, Jingsa Ecoverse had her grand opening in San Diego. This is the first Jingsa bookstore and cafe in the United States with the theme of environmental awareness, and the first not co-located with its Tzu Chi office. The intent is to bring Tzu Chi's spirit and philosophy into the mainstream society.
We expect to be wonderful neighbors.
You know, since you talk about education and the environment, I call it an ecoversity.
On the day of the opening, another guest was one that we met 9 years ago during the San Diego Great Fire disaster relief.
When you get to what's left of your home, you realize there's nothing salvageable. You also realize you have few clothes, no foods, beds, blankets, robes, not even extra underwear.
I kept thinking about Tzu Chi Foundation, and I thought, well, if they can come from Asia and help us here, then I can certainly help us here too. Even though I've lost everything, I still have something to give. I have my experience to give.
A seed planted 9 years ago has now grown into a strong tree of love. Ecoverse, with the same aspiration, hopes to bring Tzu Chi's concept of environmentalism and kindness to more locals. Promoting kindness and spirit and spreading Jingsa aphorism in the hotels, more than 100 hotels in the US have 15,000 Jingsa aphorism booklets on display for the travelers to peruse. With music and singing, love heals many hearts. With the wisdom of Buddhism, the dust of ignorance is cleansed from the hearts. With an unwavering determination, the mission carries on. 3 years after the Haiti earthquake, 3 schools built by Tzu Chi for the Sisters of St. Anne will officially open in May 2013. With love and dedication, love accumulates and we see brighter days ahead.